Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
Did they get to hear that audio?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones. I dig that riff.
Hey, we are doing something a little different than StreamYard OBS, so audio and video hopefully is enhanced a little bit. Let us know. Hopefully it sounds good. But on to tonight's show.
Wow, this
Happy
is
Thursday.
Totally different look than StreamYard.
Happy Thursday.
Amen.
Cheers to
and
you.
Cheers to you out there.
Cheers.
What are we starting with?
Well, I want to start with, first of all, thanking the patrons that joined us for the pre-show. It was a good time as always. Always something fun to talk about. And new faces. I love seeing them. Most of them, I'm going to assume, are already here in the chat. So they know who they are. Tom, Pierre, Chuck,
Bobby J.
Leanne,
Bobby J was
Zach,
in, but
Chad. Who are we missing from there? But I do see some other names that weren't on there. So Trooper Henry's out, and Francois and Bob H was in the pre-show. So what do we got going on tonight? We got something fun.
Well, we have a special patron.
It's a challenge.
Curveball,
man. You got the package.
So,
what's going on?
Curveball shows up in the mail this week. One of our patrons, I will leave him anonymous until he wants to out himself for being the one that sent this, but sent me a box, actually a pretty large box. It had 32? No. 16. 16 sample bottles, which were of 4 different scotches. And I will give you a quick rundown of what we have. We have a 15-year-old Scotch whiskey blind tasting setup from our patron. He has provided us with 4 samples for our blind tasting enjoyment. Each expression will have a different color star in the bottom, and Andrew is setting this up right now. He wants to give a pre-pour. We'll try to let those air out for a quick second. So a little bit about these whiskeys, the information that he did give us. And also, I do believe Zach is putting the answer key.
He's trying. I can see him posting the link, so
Okay.
he's working on it. But yeah, we don't know what's going on, but the answer key, hopefully Zach will be able to figure it out.
Let's see if the dram cam works.
The dram cam should
Dram cam? Go to the dram cam.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. Oh, that's good pours.
Push the button.
So Zach is working on getting you all the cheat sheet, the answer sheet, so that you can know what we're drinking before, as we go through it. But here's what we know. 3 of these 4 expressions are 46%, with the 4th one at 47.8. So they're all really close, very similar. 3 are non-chill filtered and natural color, and the 4th one, there's no information in regards to that. 1 of the 4 he is referring to as a value purchase.
That's my purchase.
Okay.
Probably the best one in there.
So does that mean it's
Right.
an Andrew bottle?
Maybe.
So what we're planning to do here then is we are going to we took his advice and we're going to sort of split this into 2 flights of 2, and we're going to compare and contrast the gold against the red and then the green against the blue. I don't necessarily think we're trying to pick a winner per se. Maybe we will have our own perceptions as to which one we prefer tonight.
Yep.
Kind of like the King of the Hill.
Yeah.
But really, this is going to be trying to pull the notes out, trying to compare them, trying to contrast them. What do we find different or the same about them? What we like, what we don't like, and then we'll get into the reveals. I'm not sure what the answer sheet even looks like. If it's just in the envelope, it just says what's what, or if it teases with more information or not. I don't think that's the way it is. So we'll see. What's that about?
Just keep pouring.
Okay.
All right.
I'm looking at the screen while Drew's working. So we've got these 4. You just poured them. Let's give them another hot second.
Yeah, and let's look at them for a second. So you see that they've got different colors here, and hopefully all the mics work while we've got in this video. So we go from essentially a darker whiskey, and it just transitions to lighter. This is a random order I put in here with yellow going to red. Yeah, if you want to put that behind.
That's the way he wanted us to do this.
Yeah, so we're going to do these 2 first, the gold and the red, and then we'll hit the, so let's start with the gold and the red. You can see that there's a pretty good difference in color there between those 2. And then you move into these 2 darker ones over here that'll be the second round.
Which I don't know why he chose to do them, these 2 against to pair them up, but I like his choices already.
I think that, and I think 3 of these are non-chill filtered. 1 is no.
That does not look like it's that one right there. Looks a little different, doesn't it? Looks a little
pink,
cloudy.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get too much into that. We've all warmed up with a little bit of something, right? We had a couple small drams during our patron show.
7-wood.
So we're going to dive into this. We do have a couple of Scotch in the news things to talk about, if we can get to them or not. A little fun articles that we found out there that maybe are worth chatting about, maybe not.
You're worth chatting about.
We'll find out. Let me rinse my palate, and I say we dive into it. As we're prepping to do this, I'd love to see some comments in the chat as to everyone's thoughts on the King of the Hill series so far. We obviously are always thinking of ideas on how to build up the production on that, and we've got some interesting, fun things coming down the pipe. But we've got to continue to either build out more categories or cap it at some point in time because it gets a little unwieldy. And our goal is to bring this all together at the end of the year. So we're entering the 5th month.
I would say it's popular because we're getting people asking us to do other King of the Hills. We know we got to do a King of the Islands now from Tom.
Yeah.
King of the Rums.
King of the Rums. So it's definitely, I think, something that we're going to continue. And you guys doubled up last week, and you did too, right?
Yeah.
You did.
We did the blends, and then
peated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we may continue that trend going forward to try and double up, so we can just knock some, because there's so many combos, right? And so at the end of the year, hopefully we have enough competition so that we can actually declare a true yearly King of the Hill.
That'd be cool.
I'm hoping too, though. I don't want to have enough so many categories where we have a king of a particular category that never really was challenged. It won one battle, right? You know, I mean, we need to.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the kings at the end, they need to have some experience some defending experience under their belt. They've had to been through the ringer.
Time for a dram. Gregor's saying the same thing. It's fun. He likes the fact that it can feed the best of the year. I think it's a cool concept, right? Because normally we just do hey, let's pick the scotches that we all thought individually or as a group of the year, which is still good. But this kind of makes it fair. Like, it really did
they earned
make
it.
it.
They had to fight
the
the way up. Yeah.
They fought it. So, whether it's a serious thing or not, it's still kind of fun and I think entertaining for me at least. Because I feel like we get shocked every week. You guys got shocked last week.
Oh my God.
I was completely messed up. I thought, Lafroy's got it again this week. I'm like, whoops.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Port Charlotte Talisker is what threw us off. I think we all three thought Talisker was one particular one. It was the flip. It was so far off. But
yeah, Port Charlotte took it for sure.
We have a couple. We always need bottles to go into these categories to try to keep them. Keep some contenders coming, if you will. But we're getting some good suggestions, so we really appreciate that and want to continue to ask for your guys' input because the goal is to do this for everybody out there. So having fun doing it.
Let's get to this thing. I'm ready to get started. So we're diving in first the 4 series here of blinds, and we are starting with gold first. And these are all 15-year-olds, right?
They are all 15.
Different ABVs.
Yes. Very similar.
Similar, unchilled, some chilled, all unchilled. We don't know.
One of the 4 we don't know. The other 3 are non-chill, no color.
Got it. Okay.
3 are 46% ABV. So honestly, when it comes to that,
it should be pretty equal, other than the color looking that we saw. Who knows?
Are they all single malts?
Are they all
know.
single malts? We do not know.
It doesn't say. Okay.
It just says 15-year-old Scotch whiskey.
So I'm starting with the yellow, with the gold, which is the lightest of the 3, and it smells light.
It smells light?
It smells, yeah. There's not really like heavy leather and, that kind of deep ruby fruits in it. But it smells, it's sweetened up. It's sweet enough for some sherry in there.
So we don't have any idea what this is.
We have no clue.
15-year-old Scotch.
15-year-old Scotch that's about 46+%.
So are you getting sherry? Are you getting...
I'm getting malt. This reminds me, this gold one is like middle of the road Scotch. It's like, hey, what does Scotch taste like? What's it supposed to taste like? That. You know what I mean?
Knows, you haven't tasted it yet.
Well, but smell-wise, it really is just a very middle of the road what Scotch is. Malt forward. Sure, there's going to be some sherry note in there, but not really prevalent.
Boy, the red I'm
sweet vanilla oak.
Yeah, red I'm getting more like
so
almost
it
cedar.
could be a blend even at this point.
It could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
I would say if it's a blend, it's a blended malt. I don't get any grain in it.
I'm not getting any grain on that either. And the red I'm not either.
It's light.
I'm getting more like cedar as opposed to oak, and so it's a more resonance on that one.
Red.
So there's a bit of creamy.
Good note. Good pull, Andrew.
Creamy sherry on the nose. It's light.
Yeah.
Malt forward. A little strawberry, I would say, even on the nose of this.
So
yeah, I was getting some sweetness. Maybe.
Actually,
yeah.
I think I'm getting some PX note on this.
Really?
Like strawberry marshmallow as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's the
take a sip
sherry
before you go?
note is
You
coming
guys taking
out.
sips?
I have not.
I have
go,
not.
But you can start.
There's
To an
definitely
extent.
sherry note coming out. The very first note that I got, the wood note that I got, definitely was not oak. It was more cedar. I was like, oh, really good pull, Andrew.
Nice.
Now that I think the sherry is coming out on it,
Oh, that's
this is going to be good. This one smells really. This one's making my mouth water. Pavlov's dog here. I'm not going to taste it yet, though. I'm gonna keep it in the right order.
Okay, that's hotter than you think it is.
What, this yellow?
The one I just tasted. That's. It came around and went, I'm not done yet, and punches in the back.
Strong like bull.
Oh, that is really tasty, though. Okay.
It's got a white pepper. It's actually very soft on the front. If I remember correctly, it was candied. It was almost saccharine sweet up front, and then it punches me with pepper, and then maltiness in the back end.
On the second nose, I'm getting a really dry straw note. Not fresh cut straw or hay, not hay that's wet in a bale or something, but really dried out, like it's been sitting in the sun in a bale for months.
And the palate is very much like the stew. It's got a really kind of a straw middle, not sweet. I'm not getting as much sweetness on it. I'm getting it is a straw. It does come out, because it's kind of as it breaks down, you get that kind of sweetness as the sugars come from that starch in them.
Boy, that's candy.
Really? Are we talking like candy that's in the necklace candy, or like Pez, or
No,
like
like
butterscotch or something?
yeah, like a sweet hard candy. It's got. There's a creamy note in Lifesavers. Like there's a red and a white, and it's cream. That candy cream flavor is what I'm getting out of that. It's
I think it's supposed to be butterscotch.
You think?
Well, I mean that's what that white. Oh,
It's got a bit hint of white chocolate to it. I swear to God, it's hotter than 46. I think it's the pepper. It's getting me like.
I think,
whatever that
yeah,
is.
I don't think it's ABV. I think it's a spice note. So let's see what the red does.
So the yellow is very middle of the road for me. It's.
Hang on, we gotta leave some room for some water in there, right? I want gold.
Gold, yeah.
Gold. I'm doubling down on the gold, guys, just so we can. What the hell?
All right, let's start with the red.
Okay, so
Oh my gosh, the nose is so much stronger in the red.
Yeah, going back to gold, it's sort of one-dimensional in the sense that it's kind of like malty, candied, peppery. That's kind of the synopsis I'm going to throw at it right now. And the pepper is almost a little too strong. We should get a Molly alert here.
I want to point out that I'm waiting for your Molly alert to see if it comes
It may
through.
not come.
Hit the red.
I want to hit the red, but I also want to call out Tom's super chat. Tom, yes, it is. Happy birthday to Dan. I actually texted
Cheers,
him
Dan.
this morning.
Thank you, Tom.
I waited till about 10 o'clock, so I didn't know where he
There's
was. There's Molly. But yeah, very, very close friend and good person. Happy birthday to Dan, the ambassador for Glen Morangi, right? So back to red. Much more sherry influence.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of sherry on the palate.
That
You get
first
some
one was
dryness.
not sherried at all, I don't think. It felt like it was something else.
This one really smells good.
Like, I don't know what it
Yeah, I would agree. I would think that the gold is not a heavily sherry whiskey at all. This one definitely has more sherry influence. It's got the kind of the sour,
leathery, oloroso.
Really, I was getting more PX, but there's definitely in the very center of that palette is a pop of red, almost cherry, like sweet cherry.
Yeah, a fig cherry is what I'm getting in the nose.
I'm getting more fig than I'm cherry, and I would say I'm not getting PX at all. I'm not getting any grapiness.
Really?
It's
That's what I was getting on the nose. I'm not saying it. I get a cherry pop in the center. I just made that my water. My bad. It was in my hand. It's good. It's good.
That could be PX, actually. Very leathery on the finish. Really black tea leather on the finish. A very matured syrupy sherry. Not overpowering.
Time for a dram's trying to stay dry. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Do we need to talk? Oh boy.
That's like to me that's like, I swear that is the Revival.
the red.
Yeah, it tastes like a Revival.
Which Revival?
But the both Oloroso and PX. Because it's kind of a combination with both of those. I
I can see. I mean, because we're definitely pulling notes of Oloroso, and I said I smell PX.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I think.
I don't know yet.
So not to. I want to water these down. You might need to put a little water on the red. I want to put some water on these to see what water does to them. First impressions after going through both.
I feel like they're both Glenfiddich's. 15 is the first one, and then not the first Glenfiddich. The first one is Glenfiddich 15, and then the second one is the Revival, Glendronach. That's my two guesses.
Glendronach Revival.
Do you think that first one is Solera?
I think so. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right.
Got to throw something out there.
No can
As
do
well.
that. I don't. So
See, that's the thing. I don't remember. So you remember distilleries? I just pulled the note. So that's a little much.
Maybe a little bit. Are those the first ones?
yeah, we're gonna see what water does to them. My first impressions on them, I like them both. They're both good solid whiskeys. I think the first one is definitely doesn't carry any like over influence of sherry note, right?
No.
It really is much more
It's more bourbon influence.
unidimensional, straightforward, malt forward Scotch.
It's good. The pepper's a little overbearing, but it's good.
Well, so
I think I feel like you're right too. The Solera I think was a better glass than I remember that being.
I was so in love with that
The
Solera.
Solera was good.
Until I had the 18. Then I shed a tear for the Solera.
18 is bananas. So.
Right, Bananas Foster, baby.
Is this the water now?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what it does to that white pepper.
It pulls it down. It's actually a really nice dram. It's really, it's an everyday drinker from a perspective of, it's not overly peated, it's not overly sherried, it's a good malty whiskey. It has vanillas and the bourbon barrel influence more than really anything else.
Still going through the gold and the red, Steve A. We just put water on them. The gold is much more malt forward.
It's maltier now.
Is it really?
Pepper is definitely tamed down the gold.
I think I like the gold better.
Gold actually is pretty good now.
It's a really good dram. I mean, but don't come into it thinking you're getting a sherry bomb.
No.
And
No.
this is probably the least. It is the least sherried of the, because the other two, the green and the
No, you got
blue.
the red loses all depth when you add water to it. When I add water to it, the gold holds it. Totally holds it.
The red does not hold the water.
In my view, it didn't. But I need to go at it again with some water after.
Where's the red?
Gold is it's an enjoyable dram. From our patron show, one of our patrons, Kim, had mentioned that one of her go-to favorite drams was Kilkerran 12. And she said why she liked it. She didn't have to think about it. It's just that it is what it is, and that's what it is, and it's not gonna you're not gonna get lost on it. You don't have to think about it. It's not over complex. That's what this gold is to me. It's just straightforward. Here's some Scotch, a little bit sweet, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It's good. I haven't got this red with the water yet, though.
The red is. I was totally wrong. It's not Revival. Because that would hold the water better than that. It's not, the Revival's a lot deeper than that is. So I'm not sure what that is, but it's definitely sherry influenced. I feel like it's both Pedro and Oloroso, but I would lean towards Oloroso at this point based on the water. I think it was Pedro would hold it more, would be more syrupy. The first one to me is, I feel, a more approachable, consistent dram. But they're two different bottles. I mean, this is definitely more. The red is more sherry influenced than the first one. The gold is for sure.
Did you, by chance, put the same amount of water, at least close to that?
Ratio wise, yes, I did. So the
water did not handle it in the red.
the
The water beat the shit out of the red.
no, and I actually over poured water into the gold one, and then I pulled
So-
back a little bit on the red.
I'm not saying red was
Man, that's so
was
good.
horrible
That
after
gold is-
water, but I mean, it just was not anywhere near what it was
Not
neat.
nearly as interesting.
Exactly.
That gold, it took it water without thinking about it.
Right. It made it a little bit more sweet to me.
It did.
Which is close to pushing the line of sweetness, but it's still really enjoyable. It makes me want to come back. Now, I really like the nose on the red. I don't.
You still like the nose? You still like the nose?
I did. No. Neat. That caught me.
See, I'm getting some more sweetness on the red nose, but I think my preferred dram, the gold, wins. It's just better balance. It took the water without thinking about it. It's not my wheelhouse, I'll say that, but it's really tasty, and I enjoy that whiskey.
So let's take a couple stabs. Man, I don't have the experience or the memory of the new Ball Blair 15.
Oh,
Do you?
No.
Off the top of your head,
No.
know what the finish and maturation was on it? I know one of them had a sherry influence on it, whether it was a sherry finish or something of that nature. Because to me, gold is just finished in sherry. There's no
If
way.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
it's
not much sherry
And
in
if whatever it's finished in, it's a spent barrel of
It is.
sherry, right? It's not first fill.
No,
Right.
I would agree.
Obviously, the red is coming with either a full maturation or a first fill finish.
Nice
Yeah.
one, Steve.
But to take a guess at what they are. So, and we know they're 15s. So I'm just shot in the dark here. I really don't know. I'm going to say that the gold is the Ball Blair 15 and the red is Glenallachie 15.
I was thinking Glenallachie earlier too when I said that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Glenallachie had a better.
Well, they do, but they're not all of them are. I mean, Billy's still working with stock that's not his.
It's true.
I don't know. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. I mean, we'll see.
Don't open anything until you're finished. Okay.
Don't open anything until you're finished.
All right.
That's
Wow.
good to know that. 'Cause
We might have to
I
drink
picked
this whole box of
gold,
whiskey.
as a well, yeah. I guess that's what's left of the. There's not really much point in the dram can because they're pretty much empty at this point.
Yeah, dram
But
cam's no good there.
But we killed the red, but we have some left over here.
I think I agree with you guys. I think I enjoyed the gold more than the red. Both of them actually are pretty good.
I think they're both good whiskeys.
Depends on your mood, I guess. I think one's more sherry than the other. Obviously, I think I think the gold just had a well balanced, semi candy sweet to malty finish, and it was just nice. It was pleasant.
It really does a nice job.
Didn't do like amazing, but it was just pleasant. Whereas the red did not hold water, and it was sherry influenced, but it was still just like nothing. Like didn't blow me away. Sherry, it didn't give me like a super leathery or super sweet sherry note I'm looking for. It was just kind of like it was just good. It was okay.
I enjoyed it neat. I mean, to the point where I would pour it. I would definitely pour and enjoy it. I would be upset if it had water on it. The gold, I just think it's easy to drink. It's
so tasty, yeah.
No, it's not overly complex and coming at you with all these nuances, but for what it is, it's really good.
Yep.
At this point, we have no idea. So all we're
push
going
this
to say
aside.
is we all agreed unanimously that gold
wins.
our favorite so far.
Yep. So far.
All right, let's go to the other ones.
Yeah, cap those. Now let's go back to the dram cam. And in this corner,
Now we hit the sugar.
Oh boy, these
we hit the
look
sugar
dark.
bombs.
These look dark. Look at that.
do we have the spares in case we need them?
Look at the color behind those.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there's, if we need to pour more.
We can. So these are one of the four is
Actually,
unnoted, but the rest of these are natural color.
A little darker than that one.
Well, that's tough.
But if you take the paper away, it looks a lot darker. Look how much darker they look.
I think blue
Yeah,
is darker.
I don't know. This is tough. These are very similar.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair question.
We'll see. So green and blue. All we know is what we knew about red and gold.
50.
46 to 47% ABV
And we have a cheap glass in here as well.
out of the 4.
We probably like the gold's probably the cheap glass, and we like
Every
that.
time we.
I mean, we like cheap stuff.
Did you smell this?
Yeah.
Wow, you went through those fast. So green. Green.
Not a fan of green.
Wow, what the hell? I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
You try it too, or just
No, I just nosed it. Just a quick nose. I'm like, yep, nope. It's uneven.
This needs to air out. This needs to air out. I'm not getting hardly anything on it.
That one is the blue is much better.
whoa.
So the first note, green, not hanging up there. It's just
Ooh.
not holding on.
Oh, I disagree.
What? All right.
That's a butterscotch note to that right off the gate. It's
This
lovely.
thing smells really airy. Like I mean, it smells. There's a sherry influence, but almost like I hate to say it. It smells
I
artificially
don't know.
sherry.
That's not good.
That's a Rosebank 15. No.
I don't have much experience there.
All right. So I'm nosing the green right now.
So the blue, I get a sherry note, but it's a weird, not funk. I would get that. It's just different. It almost gives me like artificial color, artificial flavoring smell.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Porter. If we can't pull out a White Walker, we're shutting down YouTube.
Okay. So
I'm telling you, there's no way that's a White Walker.
Why would you do that? Why would you do
weird.
that?
So the green, I am now getting PX all over it.
Really?
It's like purple grape, like purple drink in New Orleans in the green. It's like
Now that's interesting.
grape Kool-Aid.
I'm getting. This is gonna sound gross, but wallpaper paste on the blue.
On the blue, wallpaper paste. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
So is that clumpy or is it smooth? Is that
Purple drink.
I mean, not a whole lot of anything else really. It's just I don't know why. Maybe it's just my nose.
I gotta be honest. It's really hard to get anything
Yeah,
out
it
of green
is.
on me. I kind of
Michael
put some on my
Highfield.
hand.
White Walker 15-year limited edition.
Yeah. So the blue, you're right. It's really salt on the nose.
This is meaty too.
I'm not getting leather. Just really light Oloroso maybe on the that's the green.
I mean, this is an interesting smell.
I think
The blue is.
I think there's something more to that dram. I'm not getting it on the nose just yet, and that's why I'm just gonna put a little perfume on my hand from it, just to try to see if I can get this thing to open up.
Uh-oh. Drew's not liking that. Look at his face. He's like, I wish I could zoom in on his face right now.
good.
No, that's really good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Interesting. Ooh, I'm getting all. That's green, and now I'm getting licorice on the nose.
I'm not getting any funk.
You're not getting any fun?
No,
tell you
but I'm
something
getting
about-
like Bunnahabhain chocolate on it.
Let me tell you, that funk, the older the bottle, the less funky it is.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like Pete. I don't know. So far, to me, green
tried
is
the red.
intriguing me, and I
Or
think
blue.
it's intriguing me
you tried
because
blue?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
think it's intriguing me because it's being so mysterious. It's being coy. It's not revealing itself. It seems like there's a little cat and mouse game going on. It's being
Comes through pretty hot.
what, green? It's being flirtatious right now.
I'm getting licorice notes on it, which is interesting now though.
Wow.
Now
The blue's hanging out here too, man. It's ready to play.
Ooh.
Now the
Wow,
green is
then
sweetening up.
that is rich. Like that's just Oloroso.
All right, so
Gerben made it.
let's do that.
Gerben.
Let's focus on the blue for a bit. Pull green aside. I want. We need to probably go through this a couple times without following that.
That's good. That's a sherry bomb right there in that finish.
Ooh. Wow.
But interestingly, the nose does not say the taste at all. Like,
No, and there's a nice, real far back end finished sweet note that comes through that just kind of just tames that sherry note down. They're both really interesting. That's pleasant. Long finish on blue too.
These are difficult.
Wow.
So you tried it?
Blue.
Yeah.
Muy bien.
They're both really good, honestly.
It's got this deep, like musty, old Oloroso leathery flavor coming through on that one. Much richer in flavor. I think it's got kind of some, I wouldn't say edges, but it tastes like a musty old book. I mean, it's got that kind of.
That's almost like a Glen Farkless or a Glen Malachy.
So let me throw something out there. See if we can get.
All over that.
Can I get a landline? Can I call a friend here?
Call a favorite.
No.
No. Are these all single malts? Can someone tell me if these are all single malts? I want to believe they are, but
I feel like they're single malts.
Well, they're 15-year-olds, so that helps take away some of that grainy young flavor.
Yeah, I think they're all single malts. Is my guess.
Man, that is a good whiskey. That's 15-year.
We may need to pour some more.
It's got this drying. The blue has a drying
this one?
flavor
This is
on
green?
it that is.
Did you put water in these yet?
No, we've got enough.
We need to pour some more of
ahead.
that.
Yeah, we can pour some more blue.
Man, the nose in this green though is so good.
I'm getting all sorts of tannins in the blue and stuff.
Like butterscotch galore on green.
Is that? Now we're coming back from the blue, so that's going to be probably sweeter whiskey. So I'm rinsing my palate between the blue and the green.
wow, I am. Damn it.
Yeah, they're all 15 single malts.
Thank you. I was really in love with that green, and now blue is just.
Green's delicious. Green though is
green has a funky sourness.
green. I'm gonna tell you right now. So far, first impressions, blue has a depth that's just deep. Like it's super sherry, but the nose is not that good. From an all-out perspective, the green has a better nose and palate combination than the blue. The blue is just palate for me right now.
I would agree. The blue does not have a whole lot of nose on it.
But the blue has some depth to it.
It's really soft and subtle on that blue nose. The green, I'm getting some funkiness, some weird sourness on it that I don't know. I'm not sure it is very pleasant on the green. I think the palate is better.
Water
than
these
the
guys down for sure.
Hold on, I'll take one more sip on that green before it.
I'm actually looking forward to that blue with some water on it. I hope it opens the nose up. It's so like
All right.
that's a sherry bomb for sure.
Green's falling apart on me.
It is. It's like it tastes like grain whiskey to me now.
Green is falling apart on me. It started off kind of mysterious, and then the lights came on. No, but it's just
I'm
not,
off kind of bad.
it's not holding up. It's not holding up, and that's just with oxidation. That's just with air. That's just hitting it. So what's going to happen when you put this water in it?
This is a Canadian whiskey.
So I'm drinking blue with water on it right now.
All right, so we're into water now.
Nose is definitely better now.
Really?
Yeah, more caramels coming out. Toffee, cinnamon, a little bit more spice. I can't.
Were we getting any of those before?
No,
On
the water's
blue nose?
definitely opened it up before. They didn't have it before.
That's
you're
good
right.
to see.
The blue had a very subtle nose before. I was not pulling much out. The palate is great, but
I don't know.
all right. So blue.
Water's on both of these, right?
Water's on both.
All right, let's see what happens to this green.
Because the water definitely affected the depth of the blue. It's still good. How much you put on there? Not a whole lot.
No, not a half, maybe a third of a cap.
Well, I'll tell you what, water helped green's nose out.
It did actually. The water hurt the palate in the blue a little bit. If we're using that as a weight here.
How much? Well, So with the blue on the palate, I'm still getting the leathery,
Very leathery.
tannin. It tastes older than 15
That
for sure.
that feels like a Glen Alky more than anything else to me.
That is really good.
I don't have a lot of Glen Alkys, but the one that I have so far is very leathery.
The finish on the blue, it just goes and it just like it gets better as it sits.
So the green with water, I think, really helped its nose. The nose came out.
So what are you getting on the nose? What flavor notes?
Well,
or what notes?
I already took a drink.
well,
Hang on a second. So, it brought forward more of the palate. To me, it's more enjoyable. I'm trying to discern whether I think it's better than what I know of the blue, but I need to get into the blue yet.
I'm getting
I
sweet
have no
grapes
idea what that is.
on the blue.
On the green,
on green.
I don't know what that is at all. It's good. It's definitely the water actually was okay for both the nose and the palate on that green. It's it got a little sweeter on the palate actually. I think
Okay, so
less sherry.
what did you say about the blue with water?
I thought that it wasn't as sherry as it was before. Like the first time it was
Yeah.
more of a sherry bomb. Now it's like a sherry.
To me, it's
Pipe bomb.
way more sugary and way sweeter, way more vanilla.
On the nose, yeah, maybe.
Even go so far as to say a tad bit of sulfur.
I didn't get any sulfur.
I can see that because I get a lot more of that oxidized leather, dry tannin on the palate.
So we got a lot of people watching, and they know what the answers are. So like, are we like completely dumb right now? Are we like? I feel like we are so lost.
Wow.
Are we really that bad?
How did water make blue so much more spicy?
Yeah, blue is a nice whiskey.
Did you get more spice? I mean, seriously, it's hotter with water.
Well, like French oak spice. I mean,
Oh man.
yeah, there's some that blue I like a lot.
No, we
There's
didn't.
some interest
It
there.
could be an Edward too.
Yeah, so where this came from, I know he's a fan of Edward. That's been in the back of my mind, but I'm trying not to let it influence
Don't
my
let it influence.
Well, I didn't think about it until just now. I mean, because I was thinking about like what other ones out there that are going to be like that we, I mean, you got your Kilkerrans, you've got your Glen Farkless, you got your Glen Alky, you've got some Macallans.
Yeah, but I mean,
Glen Dronics, you've got what else? I mean, that might be helpful just to name some things to get our
so
brains going here.
but where I get off on that, and that's been going through my mind, Drew. Where I go off the path on that is I start thinking about all the IBs out there, and I start thinking about stuff like some Glen Talkers and things that I don't even know what their core range. Do they bottle anything at 15? No, but I know SNWS bottles them at 15.
Well,
so-
obviously these can't be SNWS.
No, they're all at
That's
40.
true.
They're 46
Okay.
to 47%.
That's true.
An IDB, I mean, they could be, but I doubt they're independent. I would say they're more than likely they're probably normal single.
Well,
malts.
I don't know. There's a ton of IBs out there that water down a little bit. They don't just all do single cask stuff.
You got Balvinies, you got Glenfiddich, you got that's from the first one, the gold from.
Man, I didn't
right?
get any Balvenie.
So-
None of this jumped
None of
out.
this
though.
jumped
So
out.
everybody's saying we're doing pretty well. Old man Scotch is laughing at us.
Of course he is.
Chad Anderson says quite well, great observations. So, okay.
So I mean, that's Rich Cannon is saying this is the price of admission right here. That's,
I mean,
you're right. It's so this is what's so fun about this is
This could be a series, right? Just send us some stuff.
we have well
keep doing.
we got to be careful. But this is really interesting. So of these two, of the blue and the green is sweeter. I think there's PX in there. I don't know. It is. So tonight, the depth and the kind of the more tannin oloroso coming out in the blue, I think, is a better expression of a sherry whiskey. Because I'm really enjoying that tonight. The green is much sweeter. It is rich. The flavor's there. The nose wasn't great without water, but it got better with water, and I think both of these got better with water.
So I'll agree with you. I at first I was going to say that the green was all over. I give it a couple minutes with the water, even it got a little bit, I don't want to say hotter, but spicier with water and more interesting and more character, a little bit not so unidimensional.
I think I know I am. Let's quit worrying about what we think the bottles are. I mean,
Yeah,
they could be all out.
I'm terrible.
at this point.
I'm terrible.
But from a sherry perspective, which is a sherry out of all four? I'm gonna say blue is.
Now, is this a sherry flight?
I'm just making a point of what I think is the sherriest.
What is a sherry?
This is just 15-year-olds.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's sherry.
Oh,
influence.
sherry influence.
So which is the most sherry?
So this is.
This came in the box, right?
Well, I would say blue and green are both very sherry.
This is my order for sherryness: blue, green, red, yellow, or gold.
So I need to go green against red.
I'm gonna do red real quick. I can't remember the red.
I know. As far as influence,
So we're listed. It's listed as a sherry influence flight.
right? So
The gold, very little sherry influence.
yeah, that's
good.
finished in a second or third fill of sherry.
I would agree.
Right.
I think the blue, yeah, that's right, has the deepest, richer Oloroso sherry. I think the blue has some PX or some sweeter sherry in it. Absolutely. What about the red? What do
Red's
you think about
good. The red's really good.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
That was our second.
No,
none of us picked that.
I think actually this is my order from a sherry perspective: blue, red, green, gold.
So let's give a little history here where this came from. So obviously, if you haven't figured it out, Rich sent these to us. Rich does have a sherry palate, and I know he is fond of some of these deeper sherry bombs. Him and I have collaborated and shared whiskeys before on that, so I think we have a common love of sherry bombs. So this is an interesting flight coming from him. Because I've spent time talking about sherry whiskey with him, I'm already, I think it's throwing me off. I'm thinking myself.
That's half our problem is we think too much about
don't overthink
the
it.
game.
But I think, honestly, from a sherry influence perspective, just what that says, I think you've got it right. I think you're spot on right here. Now, does that mean I dislike gold? I love gold for what it is. I don't think it's. I don't.
It doesn't deserve in this category.
I wouldn't call it a sherry whiskey.
Thank you.
Exactly, it's not sherry whiskey.
Right. I don't recommend that to somebody for a sherry influence.
If it's a
whiskey.
sherry whiskey, it's a weird, crazy outlier
It's
because
lightly.
it does not belong in the normal tasting profile.
It's very
Ooh, I'm getting all sorts of like grapey on it now.
Well, you've had all
yeah,
that.
I know.
Now these three all have their own unique
Red, blue, green.
standing on sherry influences.
You agree in this lineup?
Between.
What the hell?
Red?
We'll go through them one more time.
Oh, wait. so I had green and blue over here on the more.
I moved
Yeah.
red and green. I think red actually tastes better now than the green does.
Tom's busting your balls about not having Facebook Live video.
I know, it's because we didn't use StreamYard.
Yeah, Tom.
But you know what?
Thanks.
We only have
Thanks,
2
Tom.
years of
Ooh.
Facebook. I'm hoping that the production is better than here than StreamYard because StreamYard is much easier. But my guess is it's probably not. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Do that. Double fist that and just go green, red, green, red. No.
Although Tom is the stream boss.
If you go.
So the weird thing is though that we picked the gold over red
We did.
unanimously before as a better
Because we
whiskey.
like
It's a better whiskey,
Better
but not
whiskey.
sherry influence. We got to get back on what we're. Honestly, no. I want you to grab both of the red and blue
Green and-
side by side, and just nose one and then nose the other. Nose one, nose the other, and tell me what the differences are between the two. There's difference.
So red is definitely more pronounced on the sherry.
On sherry, what's the note that you're getting on blue? There's something else in there, and what is it?
Yeah, but I don't think the palate of red holds up
Okay, fair.
to the blue. Well, to
All right.
blue.
And the green actually is pretty good too, but I think red actually has the best nose out of all of them.
But combining nose and palate, you're saying blue. Oh, he just switched it up.
Well, so blue
He just switched
blue
it
reminds
up.
me of Glendronach. I mean, it's kind of a PX all over
It
the
does,
mix.
or Glen put in Farkless or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not as oxidized. It's not as Oloroso rich, deep leather kind of things. And so yeah, it definitely sure.
I'm guessing the bottles
no
is impossible for the most part, but I think if we try to, what about ABV? I think they're all.
I'm not gonna.
I don't think you can tell.
I don't know what makes a difference here.
All right,
Which is your favorite?
I got to be honest. I need to go through another samples to pick which one I like better out of the red and blue.
We can open them.
I like them. I like them both.
Red and blue?
Yeah.
Honestly, I like them all.
Absolutely. I honestly really like gold for what it is, but I think it's out of place in a sherry influenced flight.
I think I picked green over blue.
Gold.
Really?
Yeah.
I would drink any one of
It's got
these.
Oloroso.
I think I would say gold is more of an everyday drinker than the other ones. I think the other ones are definitely, you're in the mood for something sherry sweet. And then you got to go down that road of, okay, how deep of sherry do you want to go? How much leather?
How deep do you want to go?
How much leather do you want to go? How much of that syrupy sweetness or, pungent sherry you want to get to? If you want to go...
We're going all three here.
What would you say is your most pungent sherry? Like, if you're thinking super Oloroso, which one is that going to be? I'm going to say it's going to be blue. On the palate. On the palate.
Now, did you say Oloroso or just sherry?
I'll just say sherry. Because it could be PX or Oloroso. I think blue has the most... Red's right there.
Are you enjoying yourself, Rich?
This is actually pretty good.
I hope you're enjoying yourself because we're like
Pick your order so we have time for Scotch in the news, says Tom.
Freaking awesome.
Oh, so we have to get off in 10 minutes? Is that what you're saying, Tom?
Yep.
Do we have to?
That's all we got. Because we got to go after show. And
Pick your 1, 2, 3, 4 already.
We need to go to the patron after show
All right.
and let them make fun of us.
I'm going to pick my 4 right now. I'm going to go... you move this stuff on me. I'm actually going to go... They're all delicious. Honestly.
Yes, they are.
Well, I think we can agree. Well, we all have already said gold doesn't.
Gold's last.
Is not in the conversation.
Well,
sherry.
It's great, but it's last.
It's great whiskey. I love it. Honestly,
I'm curious.
Arguably, that might be my favorite tonight, though.
It's the cheapest
that's
one,
fair enough.
probably.
That's fair
It may
enough.
be. That's why I like
it's
it.
red. I actually think I'm gonna do blue, red, green. That's my order.
Keep going.
Where's red?
Blue, red,
This
green,
is blue.
gold is my order for tonight.
All right, I'm gonna go through these one more time, and then I will tell you what I'm doing. Red, Andrew, you're up. If you want to go through these, now's your chance.
All right.
I feel like-
So I think my two favorites were the gold and the green.
Gold and the green.
For a sherry influenced whiskey.
No,
Just
my
his
whiskeys tonight.
favorites.
Those are my favorites.
Okay.
So you're right. I think the gold.
I think gold is very good.
tasty.
I think gold is
really
very
enjoy
good.
that. From a sherry,
I'm gonna actually go do it again.
From a sherry perspective, gold falls out. Now, from a sherry influence, depends what you're looking for. If you want a sweet sherry or an oxidized sherry, tonight the oxidized would hit me right, so I go with green. And that's my palate tonight. If I wanted a sweeter, kind of a more balance between a sweeter and an oxidized sherry, I think the blue maybe, but blue and red is a tough call. Tonight.
I'm going red, blue, green. I'm going red, blue, green. Red's got more of an Oloroso oxidized
Favorite?
milk.
I'm switching.
Out of this lineup right
I think
now.
red is better than all of them.
I like red the best.
I'm with Mark actually. I just switched that, but I just
I'm
red
just
is really
literally
good.
Just going bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
Now, I will say this, and I'm not saying it's just because Rich is
Here's some
on
of
and
that.
he's the one that sent us these samples. I really enjoy all 4 of these whiskeys. I think gold is just, like you guys said, I pour that one anytime and just drink it because
All right.
it is what it is. But what are they? I don't know.
Let's find out.
All right,
ready.
Rich, are you ready for this?
So, do you have your pick? Are you good?
Go ahead, open them.
I'm with you. I'm the same as Mark.
He said, go ahead and open them. All right, so we did gold.
Ooh, that blue is so good.
We did gold and red first. We all agreed that gold kind of probably didn't belong.
Blue's so good.
Uh-oh.
Open the damn envelopes already.
Open
I
the
agree.
damn-
Molly agrees too.
All right, so gold.
Nope, I'm going green.
Gold.
Green number 1.
I'm sorry, I don't want to do this
I
live.
We're gonna be
Can we
so
get
bad.
bad connection? Internet drop. Gold is Old Pulteney.
15.
Old Pulteney 15.
I'm telling you, that's a good dram.
Yep.
We called it malty too.
Yeah, that's good. Win-win.
Malt forward.
I win.
not
I
sherry.
love that. That's
Old
every
Polton
day.
15 is a great bottle.
Not a flipping thing wrong
Great
with
bottle.
that.
Nope.
Rich, you're a saint.
That's a good bottle.
It's a good whiskey.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, that's so tasty.
All right, red.
That makes me feel better. But that means
One of those is a
kind of
value
crappy
bottle.
one. Oh, God.
Red, which went against gold up front, was Glendronach Revival.
Did I call that?
No.
I swear to God, I called
no,
that.
that was the blue and green.
No, I think I said it the
All
first
right,
time.
maybe.
I think you might have
I
been
think
on.
I
It
did.
says tube says non-fill filtered and natural coloring, but the bottle has nothing stated on it. But it is. You're right, Rich. It is.
Okay.
Wow. So the question back to you is, what year Glendronach Revival is this? Is this
It's gotta
Oloroso
be
and
both.
PX?
It's got to be both.
It's gotta be, because
Yeah,
we were
it does.
pulling
'Cause I even
notes
said
for
both of those.
We were
Yeah.
pulling notes.
That's why I
for
said
both.
it was revival.
All right, I'm feeling a little bit better
I do
about
too.
tonight. Jeez, we're not that.
Except for the.
down.
We're not total dummies.
But we did say red was our favorite, right? Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah, we did. He and I, we agreed on
I
red,
switched
blue.
back. I switched back to Glendronach Revival.
I'm green.
Oh, you're green.
I'm green for my
So you want to
favorite.
find out what it is?
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's probably like
Thank you for
a
calling me out
Dewar's
again.
15 or something.
But then uncalled it. Drew's notorious for that.
He's
By
got,
the
my,
way.
he's got my green. Green is my favorite.
Green.
No one else
is,
called it originally, though.
Green is Glenallachie.
Yeah, that's a good whiskey. Told you.
I think I was pretty. Was I right or wrong? I said Glenallachie. Was it the wrong one? I don't know.
Okay.
Damn it.
It's a good whiskey.
So that what is blue then? That's the question.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and have a little sip of red.
I think I'm going to hit sip of that green.
I feel better. I mean, sure, I'm waffling, but I feel like I'm better about some of the
I feel like at least we were in the damn ballpark.
I do too, right?
It's not like we were talking about football and they sent us soccer.
Let's. I mean, from a blind perspective,
Right.
we've called them all. What's this one?
This is blue.
Oh god.
The infamous.
This is gonna be bad.
I'm an idiot. I said I didn't get any Balvenie. Balvenie cask strength. Cask 9008, bottle 50 of
Cask?
800, matured exclusively in European sherry casks.
Interesting. So
I say flipping curveball.
Blue?
Damn.
that's interesting. So
Blue
I feel pretty
European
good about
sherry.
our notes
So-
tonight. Then, based on what I don't know too much about the last one, but everything else I felt pretty good about.
One of them I said it got hotter with water. Was it blue? Because that would make
No,
more
it was
sense.
the.
I don't remember.
One of them,
It was
it was on the last two. It was the blue and the green that we were going against. That I was like, I can't believe that water made it hotter. Which European oak is going to bring more of a spicy note. I get that. That one definitely was the
That was
the
cast strength.
change up.
Cast strength at 58%?
47%.
Oh, yeah. 47.8, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. That was a
So,
really
I mean-
good.
Balvenie
Like when you
cast
send 4 samples, it's hard. Like we've done blinds a lot, and putting blinds together is interesting. Coming up with scenarios, etc. That's well done, Richard. That's a really good combo.
We
you
need to
sent
go back
us.
and look at some of these comments.
I'm curious though, why the old Pulteney 15? Is it just 15
Mark
you
said blue
had,
got hotter
or
with water.
just
Blue got hotter with water. Yeah,
Balvenie.
European cask. Okay, I don't feel bad about saying that.
he said? Mark said blue got hotter with
Yeah,
water.
so Glenallachie, can we highlight him in
But
OBS?
absolutely what Drew was saying, Rich. I think it was a really cool flight. The fact that you threw that Balvenie in there was great. What a great little curveball, because it's not your typical Oloroso PX. It came from a different style cask that made it fun. It made it interesting. Good whiskeys all around. I don't think there's one of these bottles that anybody on here would put their nose up if you poured a dram of. I mean, you'd be
So
a fool.
Steve A commented, Drew said that's definitely Glendronach Revival.
I know,
Then 5 minutes
I
later,
know,
that's
but
not
that's-
Glendronach Revival.
but at least I was the one that said it,
That's
and then unsaid it.
Yeah, but he called it. That's so crazy. I don't think I could call a specific bottle of whiskey at all. I've never done that.
You know what? You could, if I poured you a wild turkey, you'd call it.
I might.
I'm just saying.
Or a Lagavulin 16.
Yeah, or a log. Right. Yeah.
No, because I mean bourbons. There's so many other rye heavy bourbons out there.
Yeah, LP has some sherry influence. Man, you wouldn't.
Really?
I would never
think?
say that if you tasted it.
Zach,
honestly,
you're kind of lying.
I don't think.
Bit.
I don't know if
Compared
that's
to these
true,
other
to be
ones,
honest,
no, it doesn't.
I think it's all malt forward.
And that's what I love about OP. I'm not knocking it. I'm not beating it up.
Nice.
I love the malty forwardness of it, right? But
that was a really cool experiment and challenge. Thank you for sending it to us. That was fun, and it was cool to go through those.
so I know Tom wants to get to Scotch in the news, and we will, even if we have to go over for a minute or two. But what this makes me want to talk about is our patrons and our Patreon.com, levels. If you basically, we've been talking about doing live tastings with patrons.
Yeah.
And this to me reminds me of what the possibilities are. Honestly, what we're trying to do, we're putting together a program with just our patrons where we will send out the communication of. Maybe put it in a survey. Hey, here's 3 bottles that we're considering. Everybody vote. We're going to pick one. They're all available. Nothing crazy hard you got to go to an auction to get. Go out to your local or order it if you have to. Give it a month time, and then we're going to do a live Patreon on a Zoom call where we literally review a bottle with you. Go through it just like this. Everybody gets some input, and we all get to score it on our scoring system to see what you would think of it. And hopefully it helps you when you watch our videos going, all right, man, Drew gave that one a 3 and I gave it a 4, man. He's a little nuts. Or Andrew gave that one a 2.5 and I gave it helps you.
It teaches you
how to do it.
Honestly, the biggest thing I would say about tasting anything, which a lot of you know, is quit worrying about what people think about it. Just say it. I mean, you're going to be right. You're going to be wrong. It doesn't matter. It's what you like and your palate. And so when we do tastings, it's all about being free and just saying what comes to mind. Don't even worry about it. So that's one of the things that's cool about it when we do tastings. Hopefully you can join us. And as a patron, we're definitely going to do some more of those. We want you to just be honest with us. Say, I get marshmallow or I get whatever it is. It doesn't matter.
And doing that, actually saying it out loud is what builds the confidence to say it more. Because when you're in a community that you trust, you're not going to embarrass yourself in front of these people. You'll say what you taste, and they love you for who you are. And it's like, okay, you get marshmallow, I don't. Okay, that's fine. There's not a big deal. That's the beauty of that.
One thing Drew said is you're going to be right. You're going to be right. When you say what you get, you're never wrong.
You're never wrong.
You're right to you. You're wrong to me.
Wrong.
And that's okay.
That's fine. So
like a good example is Tom R. He always talks about, I don't know how you guys do it. I can't get these tastes. Yeah, you do. You do.
You can, and you're right every time.
And you're right when you taste them. It's just a matter of saying it.
So for the people that have a hard time pulling out individual flavors, and I totally understand that, but there's something that makes that whiskey good for you. And you need to figure out what you like about that whiskey. And whether it be, I like the aroma or the palate or the feel of it in my mouth, or, if you can break it down into that kind of more general term, that's great too. Because there's when you taste a good whiskey, it's like, good whiskey. Now let's break down why it's great, and that's the challenge. That's the technique that an analytical person like myself kind of goes through. What makes that good to me? What do I like about the flavor? And that takes practice. And there's nothing wrong. You need some more red?
Damn it. I poured blue because I thought all the red was gone.
Well, I'll pour green because I like the green.
So Scotch and news, Mark.
Yeah, so Scotch in the news. There's a couple of things that we found out there that were worth talking. Are you sharing the screen? Can everyone see this? No. Is that possible?
It's too much work.
It's too much work. All right, so there's an 80-year-old Scotch whiskey that went on sale in Calgary. 6-figure price tag.
6 figures.
6 figures. So, I mean, that's not 7 figures, right, which that's been known to do. But anyway, it made the news. And what is it? It is a Gordon and MacPhail.
80-year-old.
It doesn't say. Glenlivet. Holy shit.
It was distilled in 1940 during World War II.
Think about Lord. So it was aged in oak sherry casks from Spain. For 80 flippin' years it was putting... Now,
they put that in a bunker?
What kills me is...
Who had it?
Think about what's happened in the world to that bottle, that cask, right? That it was cast It was bottled. I mean, put in a cask in the middle of World War II, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the world is flipping falling apart, and
It's a completely different world.
right.
Completely different world.
So, good for Gordon and MacPhail for even having that.
How much did it make?
$230,000.
A bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one bottle.
So I know Trinity and C had a tag on one of their videos about this.
Scroll up, let me
I don't know
read
if they
a
actually
little more.
tasted it, but they may have just tagged
I
this.
just, I'm not saying that they haven't
Sotheby's
put
had it for-
80-year-old bottles up in the past.
Oh, that's Hong Kong dollar.
Hong
Because
Kong.
I've not been in whiskey
A lot
that
more.
long.
I have no idea what that.
8 or 9
Hong
years.
Kong, 230,000, whatever that is to American dollars. I have no idea. The remaining 249 bottles are selling for 140. So
I wish I could afford it, because I mean, let's be realistic, guys. How many casks are out there that will ever reach that age? I'm just saying, not many. And honestly, did it say what the ABV was?
Oh,
That's
0.13 US dollars per Hong Kong dollar.
But what I'm saying is, if it's 80 years old, what did it bottle at?
So
It's
probably
got to bottle at
$90,000.
40%. It's got to
it
bottle at
has
40%.
to be 40%. There's no way it's any higher.
But
I mean,
for a whiskey to make it 80 years and not fall below 40% is
They put it in a
crazy.
bunker. There's no way.
there's no way. Yeah.
I mean,
earthy and fruitiness to it, deep and rich.
Sherry tones. Yeah.
really, sherry tones. It's in a sherry.
80 years in a sherry
Fruitiness to it.
Wonderful, wonderful, good. Anyway, 80-year-old bottle of Scotch. Don't tell
What
me.
about
any
the
of you would-
world's largest Scotch whiskey to be auctioned in Edinburgh? I mean, largest bottle.
I gotta be
Scotch.
honest. I wish I could see it.
Is it Macallan?
It's a big ass
What
bottle.
do you know? It's Macallan.
Is it?
Scroll up a little bit. No, up.
What kind of? What's in? What's
32-year-old Macallan whiskey.
32-year-old.
That's like a whole barrel.
That's like a whole cask.
5
yeah.
foot 11 inches tall.
So, who are we watching on? dailyrecord.co.uk is where we're looking at this video. They show a picture of it, and it's taller
Put the
than
link in the chat.
guy.
At least let people click on it. So I mean, okay. So number one, it's basically a whole cask of whiskey.
It's more than a
And
cask.
it's-
It looks like more than a cask.
it's
huge.
And it's Macallan, and it's 32-year-old Macallan.
Enter. There you go.
So there's the link to it in the chat. You can see it. Man, it's
Macallan M bottles on the market now have peated malt. Wow.
And it was created before the first A bomb was dropped. Oh yeah, you're right.
Exactly, Tom.
Catch that.
That's some
Comments.
crazy ass whiskey. You think
That's
about
taller than Mark.
Wow.
Wait. What's taller than me?
This
5'11"?
bottle?
What's the size of it?
5'11".
All right, that's not funny.
He didn't deny it, but it's not funny. I mean, it's barely.
Is that with or without the cork in? That's
Look
bullshit.
at the cork. Is that Mark reaching for it?
No, I'm not tall enough.
That bottle's gotta be taller
That's
than
you
6
reaching
feet.
for.
The bottle is definitely taller than 6 foot.
That dude, yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I would love to see it. I honestly, for 32-year-old Macallan, I'd love to sample it. I'd love to taste it, but
There's got to be a cask or two in there.
it might just be
Does it
one.
say how many
cask.
gallons it
'Cause,
is?
I mean, let's be honest. A sherry bodega cask.
sherry butt, maybe, yeah.
Let's say it's like 500 liters.
Yeah, it could fit there. Yeah, I'm thinking like a normal hogshead.
Yeah, that's. I get you on that.
12 bottles, each filled with the remaining 32-year-old Macallan.
What? Oh, they're not gonna.
A
Oh, well.
collection of 12 bottles.
These
Yeah, 'cause the big
comprise a
ones.
collection of 12 bottles of each.
12 bottles? Really?
There's all
No,
that's left after they empty the cask.
that's
out.
that. There was 12 bottles left after they filled that bottle. with
Gotcha.
the cask. So there's 12 regular bottles out there you could buy of that liquid, which 32-year-old Macallan is probably still.
Yeah, it's
Too damn
effing
expensive.
huge.
It's
Effing huge.
Is that what they- Those are Macallan words. It's effing huge.
It's huge.
So, wrapping up, I
Yeah.
want to say thanks to Rich Cannon. You sent a lot of whiskey, a lot of really good whiskey. It was really fun to go through it.
Interesting.
I'm going to enjoy the other samples probably in the patron show.
Can't wait to get with you in the patron show, Richard.
Yes, I want to talk to you about it, and I want to get your impressions of it. Obviously, it's your whiskey, and you know a lot more about them. You've spent time with them, so I'd love to talk to you about them.
King of the Hill returns next Thursday.
What are we hitting tomorrow?
What category?
I don't know, actually.
We've got an Avalor that is fighting its way up to contender number 1 in the sherry category.
We got more peated whiskey. We've got
Port Charlotte is on top of the hill, unpeated. Dewar's 12 is the current reigning champ on the
12-year-old
blended.
blend.
That's
I have a
shocking.
feeling there'll be a blend that steps to the tape on that.
So we got teachers, but that's not a 12-year-old. So
Well, the blend we can be a little bit more open because the fact that finding 12-year-old blends is, blends
they don't
are a lot
age- they
more
don't age
non-age
straight, yeah.
stuff. So we'll see where we get on that. But as Drew said, stay tuned. There will be fights next Thursday.
Yep.
Until then, we'll see you guys.
Have a good week, everybody.
Next time.
Hey, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.